This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Right now at 6, student punch. Tonight, we're learning new details about the student, and the police union is now responding to what happened.
Looking at my car and also the placement, I realized I probably could have been killed that day.
A crash downtown leaves a car totaled and an Indigo Red Line bus out of service. The message that driver is sharing for the first time in hopes that it will protect other drivers.
And there's always talk about attendance when it's race weekend in Indianapolis. What the Indianapolis Motor Speedway president is saying about Sunday's Brickyard 400. Well, good evening to you at 6 o'clock, and right off the top here, a woman says she is thankful to be alive. We want to show you her vehicle. That's it right there. It's now totaled after she was involved in a crash with an Indigo Red Line bus last Friday.
For the first time, she is sharing what she says happened with RTV6's Nicole Griffin. She hopes it will help save the lives of other drivers sharing the road with the Red Line buses.
The last thing I really remember was just getting hit by the bus.
Jessica Watkins still has the marks on her arms from the airbag deploying. Her car now totaled after she was involved in a crash with an Indigo Red Line bus while drivers were still practicing Friday afternoon.
Thankful after I looked at my car because looking at my car and also the placement, I realized I probably could have been killed that day.
She was pulling out of the One America parking lot on Capitol Avenue in between New York and Vermont Street when she inched out into the northbound bus lane.
It's basically impossible to see the oncoming traffic without creeping out. And that's the last part of it I remember was, I was kind of looking this way, and then the bus hit me.
The crash report and an Indigo spokesperson state that Watkins hit the bus that was traveling northbound, a conclusion she says is unbelievable. It's one of 3 crashes that have happened on Capitol Avenue where regular traffic travels southbound, but bus traffic goes both ways.
I think it's ridiculous to ask motor vehicle drivers to cross 2 lanes of rapid transit coming directly out of a parking lot to begin with, but then the fact that there is nothing warning you of an approaching I would say bus, but the size of these are significantly larger than your typical bus.
After those crashes happened here along Capitol Avenue, Indigo added these signs that say bus lane look both ways. It's an effort to remind drivers that the buses on Capitol Avenue travel both directions and they need to watch out. One America also sent out this message to employees after Watkins' crash, reminding them to watch out for buses and noting security officers would be on site at the lots to assist drivers.
I was really glad to see because I would not want a coworker or another One America employee to get seriously injured.
She hopes moving forward, Indigo would consider adding flashing lights or even a crossbar to make it safer for drivers and notify them that these buses are traveling both ways. Working for you in Indianapolis, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And Indigo also put new signs at 9th, 12th, 14th, and Michigan streets. They have also instructed bus drivers to tap on the horn when approaching intersections if they see a vehicle approaching as a reminder that the bus is coming. And if you still have questions about the Red Line, we can help you with that. Check out our special Inside the Red Line. It's up right now on our website, theindychannel.com, and on all of your streaming services.
New details involving the teenager punched by a Metro police officer outside of an Indianapolis high school. The family, their lawyer, and IMPD met for the first time today since the incident last Thursday. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez is following the latest developments on this story. Raf.
Mark, good evening. This remains a developing story, an active investigation as well. The lawyer for Danielle Pointer and 2 teens grateful that an eyewitness recorded the entire incident compared to that short initial video which was initially posted on Facebook. Today, we learned that the 17-year-old punched by Metro police officer Robert Lawson is suspended from Shortridge High School. His family's lawyer says the teen was being bullied at the school and was assaulted last Thursday. That led to a big fight inside that school that led to the call for Metro police. Now, outside the building, Officer Lawson threatened to arrest the teen's mother, who was upset at the time. The lawyer says the teen approached the officer because he thought he was going to be arrested before he was hit by the officer.
No one made any aggressive remarks. No one was disrespectful to the officer. This was simply an unprovoked striking by an officer who, in my opinion, in our opinion, was not following his training and experience.
The lawyer described the 17-year-old teen as a good student with 2 part-time jobs who also tutors elementary school kids. Tonight, the police union is speaking out, asking that all facts be gathered in this incident. The Fraternal Order of Police also says that during the review, we ask that members of our community, including various leaders and trusted voices, refrain from speculation, conjecture, or statements that may appear to prejudice or compromise the review process. They go on to say, our Indianapolis police officers remain committed to protecting our city in ongoing service to our residents and visitors. The teen's lawyers are also hoping that other videos will surface in the days to come. They've asked the school district IPS for all surveillance videos recorded that afternoon. Amanda?
Thank you, Ralph. And one man is under arrest, and the search continues for a second suspect in the vandalism at a Monroe County church. Church members found the Old Dutch Community Church in Ellettsville covered in hateful and anti-Semitic graffiti on Tuesday. After deputies released pictures of the damage and suspects, they received tips that led them to Bloomington, where they saw a car matching the description of one of the suspects. After pulling the car over, they arrested 25-year-old Tyler Price. They say they found 12 cans of spray paint inside the car. The Monroe County Sheriff's Department says it knows who the other suspect is, but have not located him yet.
Hamilton County prosecutors have charged a Fishers man with theft and home improvement fraud. Christopher Salvo is accused of taking $1,100 from a Carmel homeowner to repair a fence. However, police say he signed a contract with the homeowner, took the money, but never ordered the materials. RTV6 reached out to Salvo via phone and email. We are still waiting on a response. He is due in court on September 9th. Are you ready for 2 big interstate road construction projects to begin tomorrow? They will impact tens of thousands of drivers in central and eastern Indiana. Let's start with I-465 on the southeast side. After shutting down the east and northbound lanes last month, INDOT will now be closing the south and westbound lanes of I-465 from I-70 to I-65 for 15 days. This starts tomorrow night at 9 through Saturday, September 21st. So if you're traveling to the track for Sunday's Brickyard 400, you'll want to keep this closure in mind. Also starting tomorrow, INDOT will begin patching work on I-70 in both directions from Mount Comfort Road to the Ohio state line. This will not be a full closure. Lane restrictions will last through November. Crews will be working 7 days a week in 10-mile stretches at a time, starting at Mount Comfort Road in the eastbound lanes. One lane will be open in each direction at all times during construction.
Amazon is open for business in Greenwood, but they still need more workers for their new fulfillment center. The company sent us these pictures of opening day, which was yesterday. It's located near I-65 and Worsville Road. Employees receive inventory, pick and ship customer orders, and more. Last month, the company told us they needed to hire more than 1,000 workers. We found out today they are still hiring. If you are interested in applying, go to this story on the RTV6 app or at hiringhoosiers.com and click on the jobs link.
Just in time for tonight's kickoff of the regular NFL season, sports betting is now underway in Indiana. Today, the ribbon was cut on the new sports book in downtown Indianapolis, Caesars Winner's Circle Race Sports Pub. It had a soft opening on Tuesday, but is now officially off and running. Sports betting became legal on Sunday, and new sports books are gradually coming online around the state.
Well, I think it's pretty awesome. I never thought that Indiana would pass something like this, and I think it's going to be really good for the state, probably for the economy, and then also just fun to be able to bet on sports.
The downtown sports book is located at 20 North Pennsylvania. Hours are Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to midnight, and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. In Northwest Indiana, the Horseshoe Casino in Hammond opened its sports book yesterday. Indiana facilities can offer wagering on 19 sports, ranging from basketball and football to bowling and darts. On Sunday, Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb placed the first sports bet at Indiana Grand Racing and Casino in Shelbyville. The sports book there was the first to open in central Indiana. The one at Hoosier Park in Anderson is set to open on September 19th.
Right now, Governor Holcomb is in Asia on an economic trip to drum up new business partnerships for jobs jobs in Hoosiers. He finished the South Korea portion of the trip today. He called it a success and thanked investors for growing in Indiana, established relationships with government officials, and laid the groundwork for future growth. Indiana is home to at least 10 South Korea-based businesses that provide roughly 1,500 Indiana jobs. Next stop for the governor and his delegation is Japan. Still ahead on the news at 6, the IMS president says he wants to give some perspective to attendance at Sunday's race.
Plus, time to go home. The parents and the little one who have waited months for this day.
Well, there's nothing mini about night number 2 of the BC 39 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Carmel's own Dillon Welch, one of the 90 out here, and he's doing pretty well. We'll talk to him coming up in just a bit here on RTV6.
Yeah, those aren't clouds to the west. That's just some dust from 16th and Georgetown. We've gotten used to cool mornings. Certainly that doesn't change in the near term, but we've got some big temperature swings ahead. Still some summer warmth within my 7-day planner.
That's why the kettle chips are so good at Meyer.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers connects you to skills, resources, and employment. And right now, the Department of Transportation is looking to fill more than 100 roles in central Indiana. It's hosting a hiring fair coming up to make hires for both winter and seasonal positions there and full-time opportunities. Winter jobs run from November through March, starting at $16 an hour. This hiring fair is happening Tuesday, September 17th from 10 to 3 at 11 different locations around the state. We put more information for you on our website, hiringhoosiers.com. in the career resources section. And in another example of taking what kids learn in the classroom to building a career, students are getting into animation and film, going from script to the big screen. Students at the J. Everett Light Career Center in Indianapolis are getting to write, film, edit, and show their short films. They also learn the basics of creating animation and use 6 different programs in Adobe suites like Photoshop and Premiere. They also get to use high-quality cameras and editing systems. Students and instructors say they are getting the best tools to prepare for a career in the film and animation industry.
When a kid is applying for a job or moving on to college, they need to know every little facet of media that they possibly can.
I also get access to programs that I would have not been able to have if I hadn't taken this program, and it just gets me ready for college and what I want to do.
The 43 students in last year's program saved a combined more than $34,000 in tuition for college credit.
These parents have had a long wait to get to experience the thrill of bringing home their newborn daughter, Ava. Nearly 6 months of waiting, but they say it's all been worth it. Ava was born with a congenital condition that meant she needed multiple surgeries and months of care at Riley Hospital for Children's NICU. Ava's parents, Jacob and Alyssa, say they can't believe they finally arrived at this happy day.
A whirlwind, I guess, would be a good way to describe it. We've been here since Ava's birth for the last 5.5 months. Had a lot of help to get her to a good, healthy, stable place that she's in today.
And today, Jacob and Alyssa say they are thrilled to be bringing Ava home to be together with their family, which includes her big brother, 2-year-old Tillman. Welcome home.
Want to talk about the big picture here just for a second. We're nice and dry in the Midwest. Of course, all the attention here with Dorian, just about 45 miles southeast of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and moving northeast. That's the good news there. I'll roll this out in time just to show you how this will hug the Carolina coast, mid-Atlantic, and then move to the north and east as we go into the weekend. And by the time we get to Sunday morning, way up in the Nova Scotia area, we'll keep our eye here. See these couple of clusters of showers and thunderstorms? There's potential we'll have a thunderstorm on Sunday. I'd put the chance of rain Sunday at 30%. We'll enjoy temperatures in the mid-70s both Saturday and Sunday. No real difference in the feel. Just have to keep our eye on our thunderstorm potential second half of the weekend. Of course, that is race day at the Brickyard. 80 degrees Monday. We jump ahead just to show you the summer warmth does come back. By the time Tuesday rolls around, temperatures will zoom into the middle to to upper 80s. We'll cool back down a bit with some thunderstorms Wednesday and then be back in the lower 80s as we get to the end of next week. But right now, 73, low humidity, nice north breeze, and lots of sunshine. That's 73 in Peru, 74 in Lafayette. Other temperatures, mid-70s, 82 is your average high this time of year. Just to show you, we're just holding the warmer temperatures, the summer heat at bay. We've carved out the cooler temperatures from the Great Lakes to the northeast, temporarily pushing the humid conditions and the warmth to the south and west, but it will return. 7 o'clock tonight, we're all in the 70s. By the time we get together at 11 tonight, clear sky. Some spots will already be dropping into the upper 50s, and in the morning hours tomorrow, another start in the 50s. It was down to 51 in Lafayette and Peru this morning. Hourly forecast tomorrow, by noon, 73. We'll see clouds increase in the morning into the afternoon. High temperature almost to 80 degrees. Computer models have been pretty consistent, at least bringing a chance for some very light showers across the state. I'm duty bound to mention this. You can see a couple of showers there, 10 a.m. and 1 o'clock in the afternoon, then moving to the south and east, and that will leave us with a good Friday night. Nice afternoon feel, turns into a pleasant Friday evening, and as we start talking about high school football, just to show you've never missed a field goal when I use this, Mark. Look at that. I can just suspend the ball.
Nailed it.
Just boom, kick that thing on through. Forecast then across. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That happens.
It's my muscles. My pants didn't rip. We're okay. 76 for the kickoff, 73 by the time we get to halftime. Temperatures as we go into the weekend, still in the mid-70s. Saturday, it is a dry forecast. Sunday, that slight chance for shower or thunderstorm. There are the temperatures across the region to begin the weekend. The warmth comes in as we get to Tuesday. Warmest day in the forecast at 87. It'll be close, but we were saying we may be done with 90-degree heat, but we still flirt with it occasionally, yeah.
All right, well, if you do rip the pants, I've got a sewing kit at my desk, just in case.
He does. It's helped out plenty of times. Well, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is gearing up for another big race weekend as the NASCAR drivers come to town for the Brickyard 400. New this year, qualifying and the race will be on the same day, both on Sunday. Qualifying begins at 10:35 in the morning before the green flag flies at 2:25. Today, IMS President Doug Bowles took some time to put attendance numbers for this race in perspective, which he says will be well north of 50,000. That's the number of tickets sold as of a couple of weeks ago.
This is an unbelievably successful event. It's important to our economy, it's important to our city, and frankly, it's important to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and our relationship with NASCAR. So while we oftentimes compare ourselves to the world's largest single-day sporting event, which we are really proud to host here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it sometimes becomes a double-edged sword because people expect every time we open the gates here to have the world's largest single-day sporting event, and that's just not, it's just not possible.
And Bowles says the Brickyard 400 is still one of the largest attended NASCAR events, but it gets lost in the magnitude of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And before the teams hit the track, there's a fun event tomorrow night in the town of Speedway, the annual Hauler Parade on Main Street. It's quite the sight to see all those trucks roll onto Main Street. The fun starts at 4:30. The trucks arrive at 6 and will stay there until 8 when they drive on in to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. All kinds of free events for the whole family to take part in. But before all of that, more racing under the lights tonight at IMS, the BC 39 dirt track race. Dave First joins us from IMS with one of the drivers.
Guys, thanks. Pick it up here at the BC 39. We are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in turn 3. In fact, those are the grandstands behind us in turn 3. About 90 entries. They made it through last night. Night number 1. Dillon Welch is one of them that made it through. In fact, you won a heat race yesterday, so you might be one of the favorites tonight, is what you're saying?
Well, I don't know about that. There's a lot of good guys here, but the heat race win definitely was great. You know, it's I tried to give it away a few times and thankfully kind of recovered there to pull it out. So it's good. It's a great event. It's so much fun, and you know, the competition is as good as you're going to find anywhere. So really fun and excited to have a good night last night. I'm going to try and repeat it tonight.
Grew up around racing and did pretty well. Now you're on TV as well on the IndyCar side, but still getting back in. I think this is pretty cool you're doing this.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, and I'm thankful thankful that with the schedule that I have with broadcasting and things that there's midweek races like this that allow me the flexibility to race. And then I'm working this weekend at the big track doing the NASCAR coverage on TV. So it's great that I get to do both, you know, and for a while there I was really only racing 2 or 3 times a year. So racing 10 times this year, which is the most I've run in 6 or 7 years, probably since the last time you interviewed me. So it's great.
All right, put on your analyst hat. Let's flash back to last night, the pursuit race, which was absolutely crazy. I'm sure tonight's finale is going to be good. Last night was crazy. Kyle Larson, and then you had Michael Pickens getting airborne. Justin Grant's flipping through turn 4.
Yeah,
somehow Larson won the race.
I've watched a lot of races, and I don't think I've ever seen anything as crazy as that. I mean, I was in the infield, and we were all just kind of looking around like, did that actually happen? You know, I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, you literally think you've seen it all, and then something like that happens, and it just blows you away. So if that's any sort of teaser or appetizer for what we're going to see tonight, I think the folks are in for a treat.
Of course, Kyle, he's another guy that kind of grew up in Indiana. He's looking forward to the big race on Sunday.
I've been in some wild finishes, but that might top them all. You know, for Michael to flip, me to spin and get damage, and then Justin to, you know, should have been able to cruise to win, and I think he was busy watching us, and he slammed the cushion and flipped. So I don't know what they would have done if I would have stalled, who'd have been declared the winner, but glad I kept my engine running and you know, crossed the finish line.
And we'll see Kyle when practice gets underway on Saturday. But looking ahead to tomorrow, launching Brickyard 400 weekend, a pair of Xfinity Series practices, one at 1:05, the other at 3:05. That's the usual final practice for Xfinity before qualifying comes up on Saturday. And then the annual Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Hauler Parade tomorrow night. Everything begins at 4:30, but the parade itself begins at 6. Cup practice, by the way, begins Saturday at 11 a.m. And you're going to be here all weekend.
We'll be here all weekend. Yeah, all weekend.
I mean, I'm not saying turn to another network at all, but if you wanted to see more of Dillon, you can. Have fun tonight.
Thank you, Dave.
Dillon Welch is here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The News at 6 continues after this quick timeout.
Basement Window Hero.
You know, like Lucas Oil Stadium has a retractable roof.
Of course, yes.
If we could do that here at the station, that would be awesome.
All right.
I'd open it when it rains occasionally. Just keep it exciting.
There goes the makeup.
I want to introduce you to...
That's what you care about?
Or snow. We could open it. Bo knows weather.
Bo knows.
Yeah. Isn't he pretty cool? Bo, you are a nice patient dog, and I am taking you for a walk this evening. Temperatures in the low 70s at 8 o'clock. Will be into the mid 60s at 11.
Bo's dressed up there in a tie.
I know. That's nice.
Good to see Bo there.
Normally it's a bow tie, but for whatever reason.
Bow tie. See what you did there.
We'll see you at 7. Thanks for joining us. Goofballs.